What's up, everyone? Welcome to a True Underground Story podcast. I'm the host, Timmy Burner. Today I'm with JumpmanSosa.
Yes, sir.
So, tell me a bit about yourself. Where are you from?
Cleveland, Ohio.
What was your childhood like growing up there in Cleveland?
Um, when I was younger, I was more like in sports, more than the music and rapping. So I was like known for like sports, but like it was like living through poverty, going through life struggles, um, seeing my parents make pennies pinch, going back and forth home to home, um, back and forth between my dad, my grandma, different family members, friends. I had my daughter when I was 16, so I was still in high school. So I had to change my mindset and thinking, of how I wanted to, make my legacy and wanted my name to be mentioned to my kids. So I wanted to change more of the me being in the streets aspect and put more focus into being a man and learning how to be a boss, things like that.
What were some of the steps you took to get to that point of being able to get yourself out of the street life and get yourself set up to define your legacy for your kids?
Um, Changing the people I was around, always staying true to myself. You know, I grew up in the church. Playing the drums, things like that. So I was known, for that as well. You know, so like I just always was staying true to myself. Finding different avenues and paths, to create a different, step. Learning like to be an electrician young, so that kind of kept me off the streets and more, working, also learning how to be my own entrepreneur and boss and, things like that. I was always, a cool dude. I was, real popular. I was just one of them people, if I had to get like that, I will, but more so, I was just trying to live life, I respect everybody. I want to see everybody win. I never hated on nobody. I was never jealous or envious, of my friends that had more than me. I always wondered, how like, how my parents work, they parents work, but dang, they always got the new J's. They always got, but I never hated on them. It was more like, I like to see people happy, and things like that. So I just, you know, like I said, just stay true to myself, just being me, regardless of,
You said that you played sports a lot kind of growing up. What sports were you in?
I played basketball and I played football. I played community league football for the Sam's Raiders, and then I played basketball for like schools, church leagues, AAU teams, and things like that. Um, but basketball, that was like my second love. Drums was my first love. Basketball was my second love, and then being around like gospel artists and just people in general, just being a musician and being around artists in general, it was just like something I knew I could do because music was instilled in me, it was always in me anyway. So it wasn't like I joined the music because it was a trend or I seen everybody else doing it. It was, something I started, back, when MySpace was going too, watching Zoo Crew and Erica Kane and, Ray Jr., Pooh Gutter, Fat Owl, seeing them and Chip the Ripper, like people that was coming out the city, it motivated me to be like, all right, this is something you know how to do. And so I tried it and, since I feel like I've been, great at it and, representing, my brand and my name, the right way. My music that I make is about me, or about things I've seen or, just life choices and songs that make you think, but you can also vibe to, as well, So
Um, so how long would you say, because, you said music's kind of just in your blood and you've been doing that for a long time because you started with the drums back in church. How long would you say you've been making music professionally now for?
I started making professionally. I started taking it serious when I was 17. So that's when I started like really taking things serious on the aspect of getting into good quality music, recording studios, and things like that.
How did you come about your stage name, JumpmanSosa?
Um, Watching old documentaries, movies, and things, and I seen Michael Jordan in the his first pitch that he did was in the Sammy Sosa jersey. And so them was like two players that that was one of my favorite players. So I just combined the names, kind of like took half of Jordan nickname Jumpman, from the shoes, and then I just added Sosa, and it was just like dang, that two greats names combined together.
What was some of the music you kind of grew up listening to, whether it was stuff you seeked out or the stuff your parents were having you listen to?
I listened to everything because my goddad was a DJ. Uh, my uncle DJ Ellery, he known in Cleveland as well. He was a DJ. My godfather Lafayette Carthan, he played for some of the greats, R. Kelly, Michael Jackson, Janet Jackson. So seeing that when I was younger, um, things like that, it just like motivated me, to go hard and really just like take a chance, take a risk.
What do your family and friends like think of the music you make?
Uh, I feel like my people, my family, they love my music. Cause like I said, my music that I make, it ain't what everybody used to. It's a different vibe. A different wave. So it's more like my family, my dad, he listens to my music. He brag about me. My family, they support me. Um, even like my church family, people I went to church with, they support my music. Tell me to keep going and things like that. So it's just letting me know I'm on the right path for the message that I'm putting out.
What artists, if you had to pick a couple artists that like influenced your sound and style, who would be some artists that you could give credit to influencing you?
Um, First off, my cousin Scotty, you know, he kind of made this sound called Trap Rap Roll, and it was like trap music with a little pop feel, but rap at the same time. So him, Lil Baby, um, Future, Lucci, Rich Homie Quan, um, Lil Wayne, just different people because I'm versatile and I listen to like R&B too. So like I had like Chris Brown, Trey Songz, R. Kelly, the Isley Brothers, Fantasia, like just listening to different, you know, hearing different runs and different music and different cadences and things like that. And then just like growing up in the church hearing choir singing and things like that. So
You're a basketball guy, so I just need to ask who do you consider the GOAT of basketball?
LeBron.
LeBron?
LeBron. I mean Jordan, Jordan. He did, but I can't. I'm a real person, so it's like I ain't get to watch Jordan play. I've seen highlights. Highlight reels is made to make you look good. So um, I actually got to experience Ron. From high school and work his way to being the face of the NBA. And controlling and becoming a boss and all different aspects.
If you didn't have to foot the bill to get a feature from a mainstream artist, who would be like that artist you'd reach out to get a feature from?
Drake,
Drake?
Drake, he made things happen. Drake made stuff happen. He do a hook, a verse, whatever he put down is you bound to take it far. That's why Lil Durk, like he took his chance. I'm on a song with Drake. Like I'm gonna put my girls' business and everything in the song because it's something that everybody gonna hear in the world. He widens your brand. He's a great marketing artist as well as a great artist.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know.
He's just he's different. He
Yeah.
All he gotta do is co-sign some shit.
Yeah. You
That
just
shit be
need
taking off.
his name right there. That's all.
Speaking
Yes.
of the Isley brothers, have you seen all the stuff with them that's been getting posted lately and
Yeah,
Ron
it
Isley?
ain't the same. But when you know the rules to the game, then like R. Kelly wrote most of the some of them songs that he made back in the day. So when your writer gone, things get hard.
He out here wild, man. You got a photo with him and some scotch in the glass, a gun on the table, and a bunch of money. I'm like, damn, like
Yeah,
that now. What would you
he a
say
boss
is
as
probably
well. You know?
what would you say has probably been the hardest thing for you as an artist?
Um, support. Um, Cause like I got support, but like more of the support like when I got shows, people popping out and being there, posting my videos and things like that when I post them on Instagram, to reach they fan, their following and their crowd as well, things like that. Um, that's pretty much the main thing, and then just being a father, you know. Having kids and life, so trying to balance everything, but still make the right moves to keep going and keep prospering. You know.
What how do you find the time to like balance out having a home life with kids and trying to pursue music? How do you find that balance?
Um, but right now, since I'm not, so mainstream, it's kind of easy because when I want to, sit back and it's just family time, I can, just sit back and, do family time. When I'm ready to work, I know when I start working, it's going to be a consistent grind of, working, So, having my support within my fiance, it helps, with her understanding, my vision and seeing my vision as well, so us working together and her knowing like, okay, I'm gonna be gone from this time to this time, or I'm gonna be on the road. Can we, how can we do this? Just planning and doing things. It make it easy to balance them both. And like I said, I was a dad at 16, so balancing high school and being a father, I had to grow up quick. That's why I said, I changed my mindset and things like that. Everything had to change, to learn, to start planning accordingly.
Your kids hear your music?
Yeah, they sing
They
my
they,
music and everything. You know,
they
my
love it.
my oldest even started, making her own music and rapping. I recorded songs for her. Then I'm gonna get ready to start dropping some. Once I build the right fan base and things like that, and I'm ready to start, doing things for her and her aspect. But yeah, to see that I motivate my kids to like do music with stuff, it's always make me happy. Things like that. Brought my son his first drum set. He loved playing with it. He walk around, take his sticks to daycare. All type of stuff. So it just made me think like, dang, did I do this as a kid? It's cool. Or like I said, my daughter's rapping. My music come on in the car, instantly singing. You know, Stuff like that make me proud for sure.
That's awesome. Um, with trying to get support, do, have you gotten to do much branding, like getting merchandise and stuff printed to like get your name out there on the streets with people wearing merchandise saying your name?
That's what I'm getting into now. I finally got a team, that I'm rocking with. Shout out Mr. Shredder, shout out Miss Lily, shout out Banks, Florida B, Boy Toy, Young Shine, the gang. Uh, but I got a team now, so now I'm starting to get more into the marketing and branding point of my career because I have, built a certain fan base where it's time to, start getting things out. So when I start hitting the road and things like that, I have that merchandise and things to pass out. I got a logo, I got this, So I'm getting into that now with having a team that's actually helping me work and I'm not so much still on the front scene. I can kind of sit back and be an artist. And when they call me or they got an opportunity or I got something that's on my mind or something, I could bring it to them, present it. We go over it as a team, and then we decipher how we're gonna move from here. So, so merchandise is coming soon for sure.
What would you say has been the most rewarding thing for you as an artist?
Meeting great people. Um, Knowing that my music do motivate people, to even do music, or um, that my message is being perceived um, in the right form. I've great doors have been opened, for me, doing this music thing. I became the brand ambassador for a clothing line called Positive Energy, black owned, Cleveland person. You can get his merchandise at positive underscore lifestyle, positive energy underscore lifestyle. And so just like meeting great people, networking and being able to, see the world, travel, things like that. So it's definitely, positivity out of being an artist. Sure.
Um, I'm sure you've gotten to do quite a few shows there in Cleveland. How many shows outside of Cleveland or even outside of Ohio have you gotten to do?
Um, I did the I did one in New Orleans or Baton Rouge. I did performed at the Boosie Bash, and even with that, I got to see like how networking really worked. I got Boosie road manager number. I contact him. He gave me pointers and things on the game on how to move up. Shout out First Saturday, Jay Cooper. Um, So, but I have did shows all through Ohio, Canton, Youngstown, Ashtabula, uh, Kent, Akron. I have performed that way and doing things in that aspect. But I have on the drum side played almost all over the world. So, so I have done some traveling in my artistry or just being a musician, period, entertainer, period.
Who would be some producers in the game that you hope you get to work with one day?
Drum God, um, Hit Boy, Sosa 808, uh, Drake producer 40, um, Lil Baby producer, Cash Money AP. There's a lot of them. Like, there's a lot of dope producers in the game. DJ Khaled, Timberland, for sure. Timberland. I definitely would want to work with the great Dr. Dre. Like, it's just like a lot of people, especially before they time. I would definitely love to do music and work with great artists, with great producers and artists as well. So
I definitely think in hip hop we're kind of at like a real peak with how many different talented producers in the game there are.
yeah, yeah, and they moving around. Back then it was like you was an artist and you had your producer. Like
Yeah.
now it's like they sharing producers. We meeting at your studio, just recording with your producer. You come to my studio, record my producer. So and you network. So I might get your producer number. You might get mine. Y'all working together now. So it help everybody network and elevate.
Back in September, you got to go to iHeart.
Yeah,
What was that experience like for you?
it was fun. It was cool. I always like doing like uh, interviews, radio talks, podcasts, shows, and things like that. Because I always, that's my time to share kind of my story and let people know, who I am, who Jumpman is. who's Scotty Way, which is my team, my my artist that's motivated and working as well and doing music and trying to prevail. So that's kind of my time to tell my story. So it was a great experience, though. You got to also well network, meet other artists who was there as well, other managers, and things like that. So it was an experience that I always wanted. They played my music on 106.1 on our radio. So for me to get to go there and share my story with them, it was good. And the whole gang got to come, so it was a whole experience for all of us, and it kind of prepared us for when we go into other radio shows, and how you talk, how you present yourself, and things like that. So.
If an artist wanted to reach out about getting a feature, what's about the going rate for a JumpmanSosa feature?
I say my feature price is $350 right now. So Cleveland artists, I work with budgets at most times, but other than that, $350. Or I hit my manager to, they can feel it's different. That's just my going rate. What I feel for what I've produced, since I've been an artist. I do have music with other top artists. So,
Yeah. So I got a game here I play. I'll present two artists to you, and you tell me which one you want to listen to. Tory Lanez or Chris Brown?
I'm a Chris Brown type fan, so I think I'll be rocking with Chris.
Bruno Mars or The Weeknd?
Bruno Mars. I want to experience what he did, like at the Super Bowl, how he got to perform and play the drums at the same time. That's something I always wanted to do. So Bruno, for sure.
Erykah Badu or Lauryn Hill?
I think I say Erykah Badu, but that's like way a tie. But I think if I had to play something first, it'd be some Erykah Badu and Lauryn Hill.
Stevie Wonder or Michael Jackson?
Michael Jackson, for sure.
Music Soul Child or Drew Hill?
Drew Hill. That's just my choice.
DMX or Jadakiss?
Me personally, Jadakiss, because I like bars. So I'm with Jadakiss, like I'm a bars type of person. So Jadakiss, but DMX is a legend for sure. Definitely love music. I'll play some Jadakiss first.
Jay-Z or Nas?
Jay. But I fuck with Nas hard. I'm rocking with Jay.
Tupac or Biggie?
Biggie, I'm a Biggie fan.
Keith Sweat or Luther Vandross?
Keith Sweat.
Outkast or Wu-Tang?
Outkast.
Eminem or The Game?
Eminem.
50 Cent or Ja Rule?
50 Cent.
E40 or Twista?
Twister.
The Lox or Dipset?
Dipset.
21 Savage or Kodak Black?
Kodak.
J. Cole or Kendrick?
Woo! I'll play some Cole and then some Kendrick. It's just the way that it evolved in for me, like my vibe. I can still catch the same thing, but on a different tip from Kendrick. So.
Cardi B or Nicki Minaj?
Oh, I'm a Nicki fan for sure.
XXX Tenshion or Juice World?
Juice World.
Machine Gun Kelly or Kid Cudi?
I'm a Cudi. Kid Cudi
Cudi.
type. Yeah, I'm a Cudi.
Kevin Gates or Joyner Lucas?
I'm a Kevin Gates type of dude.
Wiz Khalifa or Young Thug?
Young Thug.
Nelly or Akon?
Nelly. Nelly for sure.
Royce the 5'9" or Benny the Butcher?
Benny. Benny Cole.
Lil Wayne or Drake?
Both. Both, cause I ain't gonna lie, I'm coming with all the features. I'm coming with all the features. So I can still get them at the same time anyway. That's like I come with both.
Gucci Mane or Jeezy?
Gucci.
T.I. or Ludacris?
Ooh. I'm gonna say Luda because as a kid I was a big Luda fan. I was a big Luda fan. So.
Gunna or G Herbo?
Gunna.
Nardo Wick or G Herbo?
G Herbo.
Young Dolph or Nipsey Hussle?
Young Dolph.
Lil
R.I.P.
Durk,
for both though.
yeah, RIP both. Lil Durk or Polo G?
Lil Durk.
Lil Baby or Da Baby?
Lil Baby.
So you've got quite a few music videos that you've gotten to do in your career in the last few years here. Do you typically use the same video guide? Because I see some of them from 3 years ago were done by Swipe and Swoop,
Yeah.
and now you're using a Dreamed It Visuals.
Yeah.
Do you switch it up with the guys you're using, or do you try and find one that you can work with for a while, and then if you see
Pretty.
something better?
Yeah. Pretty much like cause like both of them, when I started working with them, they was just starting. You know. So they was, trying to build a brand for themselves as well. So, and knowing each other, I just, like I said, I like to see everybody win. So it's like, you shoot videos, come on, I got these songs I'm trying to shoot, so I work with one. And then, once they get showing and people, they're getting booked, as well by other people and other people starting to know who they are, I'll find somebody else who's just starting, you know, try to help them, bring my fan base to them or, artists that I know, bring them to them and get hit with Drink that I've been working with him. I think that's gonna be like my personal shooter for now on. Like he's different. He got a different. No, he got like to be young and he young. So he already got a different vision. Of what he's about to try to bring to the video industry. And things like that.
So like people like Ice Spice got this huge hit of virality with her song Munch. Do you feel like she kind of fumbled with her opportunities that she had in front of her?
Yeah. I mean, cause I've been a person who's fumbled opportunities, so for that song and the movement it had before the face was put to it, it was kind of like a shock, because you thought that was gonna be something like the Glorilla song, the F F E and F or whatever. So it was something you was hearing. It was a constant song, and then she popped out. It was just like, yeah. Sometimes when the face, you gotta have a certain image. So when the image don't match you, something It could be something where her team didn't do right, you know, anything. So, or if she was working by herself and she don't know, you know, it'd be all type of stuff like that as well.
See, I feel like she kind of burnt some bridges because after she went viral, she already had shows booked prior to, and then her management told all these clubs that the price went from like 150 a show to like three grand a show. So these clubs were like, "Yeah, we're not paying that. You guys already agreed to the 150 or whatever the set price was."
So,
So she ended up like having a bunch of shows just get canceled because they were trying to get more money because she went viral, and it's just not a good business practice. If you'd already signed shit, just do the shows, and then you got that relationship with them now, and you can tell them like, next time though, it's gonna be this
now it's this.
price, and
Yeah,
I'm gonna bring even more people in because I'm viral.
facts. And then you know the one club she went viral and she ain't get a good reception. So you know
Yeah,
clubs seen that too and it's like, hold on, the song viral, but her performance viral too. I ain't paying no 3K for that. No, sure. Being an entertainer is a big part of this business for sure.
I saw recently Glorilla had spoke about. She said that she has received zero money for her song FNF. Do you feel like maybe that was also bad business there? Just she didn't.
Her and her producer should have, you know, cleared things as far as the beat, you know, and things like that. Because you also have seen in the past, you know, producers that popped out on artists like, hold on, that's my beat, I'm not getting a percentage or this, you know. So, but you know, if he signed the song or she signed the song away, you know, she should have did business right, you know, regardless, you know, especially if this somebody you knew and you had a personal connection with before that, you know, I just feel like, you know, you should have did business the right way, conducted business the right way, you know, with him as far as the beat and everything like that. So when the song went viral, everything was already worked out. You know, if you was gonna pay him, give him a cut, whatever the situation was,
I feel like though, I do feel like Glorilla is probably gonna be the next big poppin' female artist right now.
In fact, she just dropped with Cardi B that tomorrow.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so she's definitely got the, and then she got, you know, Yo Gotti behind her. So she got
Yeah,
a bag behind her. You know, and they got a great lineup on their team as well. So.
what have you experimented with, I should say, in trying to like promote your music? Do you find yourself like trying to promote it as much as you can on Twitter, going to like Reddit and trying to post your music in there? Like, where do you go to try and promote your music?
Pretty much on all the sites. Like when I'm, like I said, like when I'm in a certain mode, I'm in that mode. So you know, when I'm in promoting mode, then I know like I'm about to get to dropping, you know, this on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, you know, whatever, you know, app or whatever social media app I got. You know, I'm trying to promote it. You know, sending it through Messenger or whatever. You know, once I drop music or things like that. So when I promote, I'm pretty much promoting on all platforms, you know, as far as social media that I, you know, have. And if I learn about new ones, then I'll join in and try to tap in, see how far, you know, that could take me, you know. Like when they came with the clubhouse, it was a great experience, you know, coming in lives and you in lives with artists, you know, real artists, you know, who's got their own little clubhouse and they giving out gems on, you know, how to move and things like that. You get to play your music, and for DJs, it might be a DJ in the clubhouse, you know, and they giving people a chance to come on and play their music and things like that. So it's a cool little, you know, experience and thing to have. Because, you know, social media and phones and technology and everything is the new generation. So, you know, that's how most people are making their money. You know, Instagram Reels paying out, you know, things like that. So it's easy. There's ways to make money, you know. There's no reason to be lazy or be sitting at home not doing nothing, you know, because these social media apps coming out with stuff, the NFTs, you know, all that stuff. So that's when I promote on all sites because you never know, you know, what opportunity will be presented to you.
A lot of artists, especially nowadays, like they record like a mass produced amount of songs and they tuck a lot of them away in a vault. Like Juice World has been gone now for 2 years and he still has songs that are releasing because he had so much stuff in a vault. How many tracks would you say you're sitting on roughly?
I could say I'm sitting on probably like 60 unreleased songs
60?
right now. Yeah, right now. And my last mixtape I dropped had 23 songs on it. Never Judge a Book by its cover too. It had 23 songs on it. So that's why I said when I work, I work. You know, when I started at my new studio within a month, I was already 60 songs in, just in the studio. So you know that was just me meeting a producer who wanted to work and had the same work ethic I did. You know, so it was easy to get in there and get stuff done. And I mean, I lost a whole lot of music as well, you know, from a studio that I used to record at. You know, the hard drive crashed or whatever, so they had lost a lot of music, you know. So I had to get busy, you know. But in a way, it was a lesson because like some of the songs I recorded, I got to recreate, you know, and make it more of the vibe for today's, you know, because some music I recorded in 2018, you know, the vibes and the waves of the music have changed, you know, through different, you know, you had mumble rap, you had, you know, all type of different type of styles coming out. So, you know, I got to present, you know, the style within the right form and what we're going through was within like COVID and lockdown and all the stuff that was going on. It was like, okay, this is the time to present my music in this wave form, you know, and it's been accepted so far. So I feel like, you know, timing is everything as well.
What would be some advice you would give to younger you or a younger person seeking to start making music?
To a younger me, if I had to tell it, be true to you, is, you know, always be true to yourself. Um, don't try to be nothing that you not, nobody that you not. You know, be yourself. Life a gamble, you know. You only live once, so if you got a dream, you know, and chase it. You know, try to get it. Try to achieve as many goals as you can. You know, while you on Earth, because when you leave, you can't take none of it with you. You know, so I definitely be telling my younger self and to listen. You know, um, listen first before speaking. You know, things like that. Learn what's going on before, you know, speaking. Because like I said, I done fumbled opportunities where I probably could be further than where I am. You know, now. So it's like, you know, take a step back, listen, learn to trust. You know, everybody not here to hurt you or, you know, steal from you or take from you. You know, some people are genuine, you know, come into your life to help you, or they want to see growth, or they see something in you that you don't see in yourself. You know, and to always invest in yourself before somebody else, because that's, you know, if you don't invest in yourself, it's not gonna make nobody else want to invest anything in you if you're not investing into yourself first. So that's what I definitely tell you. Don't hear me.
Do you remember? You know, you kind of already had experiences performing live because of church and playing the drums, but do you remember what that feeling was like the first time you hit the stage to perform like rap?
First time I hit the stage, dude, because I got a, uh, um, I didn't think that the crowd would give me the reaction they did because of how the music that the other artists performed. You know, or the other artists was more street and more things like that. So like I said, my music is more a vibe. Positivity through the street realm. But I went through the struggle too. I've been through battles and fights. Things too. Been in the streets as well. So to get the perception I did and having the crowd, learning that I got a certain crowd control, it helped. But being in the church and leading, being in the youth choir and being the lead singer of the youth choir and things like that. So I already, it's kind of to be. I don't be trying to be over humble because I'm a humble person, but like it's kind of easy to me because I've been doing it since a kid. It's just
Right.
a different aspect of me saying my own words now. Before I was singing somebody else's song. That they created. Now I'm singing my music and I'm on stage and I get to have fun. Hope the crowd. I look for a different crowd reaction too. I don't look for the people that's jumping and dancing around. I look for more of the head nods because it let me know that you're listening. You're listening to what I'm saying. You're trying to get the message and understand who I am. So. But my first performance ever was with Andrew Lloyd on the West Side in Cleveland. I think the club was called Mad Dog or the bar was called Mad Dog or something like that. And I performed my song Can't Fold. And to get like I said, the reaction I did, it was crazy, a great experience. So ever since then, I just, try to elevate on performance and entertaining, learning different ways to control the crowd or grab the crowd attention and things like that. So,
When you're going to the studio to record, do you typically already have your lyrics laid out, or are you the type that goes to the studio and gets your lyrics done while in the studio?
um, depend on the vibe, because I can have something that I wrote at home and then get to the studio and it's just like a different aura in the studio. You know, um, somebody else might have been in there laying some fire and it's like I can feel it. So they might be like, hold on, so let's do this, or I get in there and my producer playing some beats and I get to hearing a different vibe, so I might reconstruct a different song or things like that, like lessons. Me and 40 cooked that up right in the studio. It wasn't something I already had wrote on my phone or, nothing like that. It was, something we both cooked up right off the head. Both verses, everything was all off the head, nothing wrote. But like songs like Laughing My Way and No Tomorrow, them songs, some songs that I have written out or I've had constructed because I do like to be ready. Time is money and money is time. So I don't like time to be wasted. So when I do get there, I do know that I want to know that I got something. That I'm gonna be working on something. So I always pre-write all my music before I go to the studio or things like that. So if I know I'm going to the studio a certain day, you know, before that day, I'm already writing and getting things prepared every day. I'm, cooking up different music and things like that.
How often do you ever have to deal with like things like writer's block?
Um, like right now, because I have been more in my family mode, right now, because I feel like, um, the songs I got out, it's, great songs that I could push, you know, eventually it might be heard, you know, and by the right person. So the music I got right now, like Laughing My Way, is the main song I'm really pushing. So it's like, I feel like that's a great song that I can really focus on and put my marketing behind right now and push it. So I'm kind of like set back, but like I said, when I was writing before, it's like I done did a lot of traveling, so I had things to talk about. Right now, I just been more around family and things like that. It's still something to talk about, but I need more than intercourse within. Like I said, I like to tell stories and things like that. Like my music is focused on positivity and things. So um, yeah, that's pretty much it for me. I'm just got like a little writer's block right now, but I feel like things have been happening. Like you said, the iHeart Radio things. being on your podcast, different podcasts and things like that, So, it's giving me more to talk about now, and so, I have been going through stuff, so it's, the music is coming, you know, right now. But I did have like a little writer's block for these last couple of months, for sure.
So we got a question here in the chat. At what time in your most recent past have you felt the most passionate and alive?
When I have my newborn, when I have my newborn child, just recently. Um, it's always a great experience, you know, bringing a life into the world, because you got to prepare yourself. There's a motivation to make you go harder because you're living for somebody else as well. And my kids, my everything. So, I just feel, they bring life to life, so that's the most passionate time, lately. It kind of brought me out of the depression I was in from, losing people and different things like that, So, like, perfect timing, you know. So it kind of brought life back to me, and then, it gave great music and, the vibe and the wave. I made that EP after my, kid was born. So, it gave me a different perception on life, things to talk about, things like that. So,
What would you say is your idea of making it in the music industry?
I think I'm there. I feel like I get the right support behind me. I got the right team now, so I feel like I get the support around me. Get networking, get to moving. I'm getting ready to, start getting some dates. To start going to different cities and performing through different cities. So I feel like once I become a household name, I feel like I'm there. I feel like I'm like right there for real. I just feel like I get that support and I'm there. I feel like that's really all I'm missing. Like I said, everything else is easy to me. I could do music in my sleep for real. Like but I'm humble. So, but like I said, I know I've been doing this my whole life. This is something I've been into, been around my whole life. So I'm destined to make it.
If you're looking to get like some more exposure after the interview, I can send you links to a couple guys in the Dayton, Ohio area.
Okay.
There's one guy that I'm friends with named Chicken Chop. He does these things that you do have to pay him because he records it and everything.
Okay.
He calls them his laps. They're live audio performances he shoots at his location,
Okay.
where he lets you just kind of like make your own little vibe while performing your song live on camera.
Okay.
And then another media group down in Dayton does a thing called Wordplay Wednesdays, where they have artists come in, they throw a beat on and let them just sit there and rap, and then it also gets posted to their YouTube channel, their Instagram, all that. And they let the artists take their video too. That way they can post it on their own
Okay.
platforms if they want.
Oh, yeah, send that through. Definitely. Like I said, I'm definitely big on networking and meeting new people. You know, expanding and growing together. So
What would be some change you want to see in your community, whether it be the hip hop community or your community up there in Cleveland?
um, the message a little bit. That's about it. As far as like in the community, I would like to see some of the violence calm down. You know, um, kids, schools getting shot up and football games, stuff. When I was a kid, it was cool to go to. It might be a fight here and there, but it was fun. It was something that you planned on doing. These kids growing up now, they don't even want to go outside because you don't know if you can. So these kids growing up on YouTube and TV and things like that, and they not getting to experience life like we did. So I do wish, some of the gun violence can, calm down in the city. Um, as far as the music, I feel like Cleveland reaching a peak. We got a lot of great talent here in our city. We're starting to get that recognition. You know, um, And so I just feel like we keep moving in the right direction as far as in the hip hop and music industry. We could be right there, seeing the female artists sticking together, pushing each other, girl empowerment, things like that. The male artists, seeing them still, work together. You got your different, like I said, you got your beefs and things going on and hoods and things like that. But I just feel like, business is business, So I feel like, we could be more like, Atlanta and LA and them cities that, really push they people, they support their city. I just would like to see more support in the city, you know, for the people that quote unquote is unpopular or whatever you want to quote it, So, I would like to see the independent artists and indie artists that's coming up, get a little bit more support from the artists that have made it and paved the way, So, because you got like, hosts that's coming up that's putting on for us underground, but they're coming up as well and making a name for themselves. So I just feel like the people that was here before us, could put a little bit more back for the city, to help or help the artists, which I have been seeing more lately, but I just I feel like we staking that ram, then we'll be all right. We'll be up there with Atlanta and them different cities too. Cleveland always was a household name. You hear it in a lot of movies, all type of stuff.
Yeah.
So I just feel like on the music side, we reaching our peak and we getting there. We got a lot of artists that's coming and making it, and motivating other artists to show us, that we can make it out of our city as well.
I mean, Cleveland's pushed a lot of people into the mainstream spotlight. I mean, starting, back in the 90s with, oh God.
You have you had a lot of people.
Bone Thugs and Harmony. Their fucking name wouldn't come to me for a second. That's
Yeah,
fucking embarrassing.
for sure.
God damn. I talk about them a lot and wouldn't come to me. But like Bone Thugs, Chip the Ripper, fucking
That,
Kid Cudi, Machine Gun Kelly. Like, Cleveland has put out so much talent, and it's just fizzled down. But I mean, I've interviewed a lot of Cleveland artists now, and I'll fuck with everyone's music that's coming out of there because y'all have different sounds, from you to Boy Toy to Suicide Holla. One of my buddies, Kurt Bob, who doesn't live up in Cleveland, but that's where he was from. He moved down here towards me about 15 years ago or so now, but that's where he was from. And just the music you guys can produce up there is very talented and it's versatile. It's slept on.
Yeah, it's that struggle, that pain. That's our sound. Wrong there. You got different cities with different sounds, and I feel like that's our sound. A lot of our artists trying the Detroit sound and this sound, but I feel like the sound that our city presented as our sound is, a great sound for us. We are, the land of the heartless. Different names. This Mistake by the Lake. They got all, little bad stuff about us. So it's like that sound. It is who we are. Our artists that made it. It's a big shout out because they have made it out of poverty and things. Like that. The struggle that our city has went through. So.
My last question before we kind of go over your last three projects you've dropped. What drives you as an artist? Where do you draw your inspiration from?
My kids, like I said, my kids, my family, the supporters that I do have. I kind of learned, because I did when I first started. Used to be one of them artists like who was mad I wasn't getting support, but like I just started. Like nobody knows, they know you, but they don't know you for this who you are now. So it's like you. So it's like I learned to more just rock with who support me. So be okay with that, and those that tag along and join, welcome to the movement. It's gonna be a fun ride. You're gonna get some great vibes, great waves, great music.
So we'll start here in 2020. You dropped Never Judge a Book by Its Cover. 9 tracks. What was like the creative process behind this tape?
That was me. That was my story. even the track list. Never judge a book by its cover. It's like it's a story, so it's like a kind of like as you listen to music, you hearing the audio of a book, you know. Um, so it's like the songs was tracked out, you know, as a book in order, so it's going in order, you know. So it was a fun process, you know. But yeah, never judge a book by its cover was mostly me, you know. That, you know, presenting myself to the world first, you know. Never judge a book by its cover too. I more got into the funness and, you know, just being creative as an artist and, you know, having fun with the music, showing my different versatility and things like that. And then the Vibe and the Wave EP, that was just me, you know, putting my stamp and letting you know, artists know that I'm here. You know, I'm here to stay. You know, I can keep up with the best of them, you know, for sure. But that Never Judge a Book by its cover one, that was home. You know, that kind of hit home.
So with Never Judge a Book by its cover being 9 tracks, what made you take the route to make Never Judge a Book by its cover 23 tracks?
Cause like I said, it was more just fun, and I was sitting on so much music. You know, I just wanted to give the world stuff that you your worst critic. You know, and once I seen the perception I got from Never Judge a Book by its cover one, you know, I started to see that I had a crowd and my music was being, you know, received. So I just had more fun with it. And LeBron, my favorite player, 23, my birthday, July 23rd, I dropped the tape on my birthday, you know, so I did 23 tracks, you know, things like that.
What made you take the route you did with your track Toxic? Because Toxic is very R&B forward.
Uh, that was actually me and my producer in the studio actually going through some drama at the same time. Um, So we was sitting there, and it was kind of like a same girl moment, like you know, but they sisters, you know. He date my fiance sister, so it was kind of like that moment, and we were in the studio actually having a conversation about our relationships and things like that, and so we just put it on the song, like let's go in here and put it on the song, and that's how Toxic was created, and that's why when it start off, it say, am I toxic if I ask Sosa about your sister and this, things like that, It was kind of a fun moment. It made me think of like same girl. So like when we drop the video, that's gonna be kind of the concept that you're gonna get. But like I said, with their sisters, that's the only difference.
Oh, I fuck with that. So I'm going to give you the floor to plug anything you got going on.
Shout out my team again, Boy Toy, Florida B, Banks, Big 40, Young Shine, Lisa Shredder, shout out EBE, shout out Big Hef, um, shout out Andrew Lloyd. Merch coming soon, like I said. Stay on the lookout for new merch from Positive Energy, new merch from Money First, the label. Um, Coming soon. Um, Bando Rich Boys, we will be back, which is me and my brother clothing line. So stay on the lookout for that.
All right, man.
And new podcasts and shows coming out soon too. Shout out Vivid Podcast. Shout out my guy right here that invited me on tonight. For Your Records podcast. Shout out In the Basement and Round Table, Real Talk. So y'all stay on the lookout, subscribe to the YouTube, and stay out for the lookout for these podcasts coming soon.
All right, man. If you're watching on YouTube, all of his links will be in the description below. His YouTube channel, his Twitter, his Instagram, his Apple Music, his Spotify, and his Instagram. Make sure you tap in with him. Check out his music. He's got a lot of fire tracks. There's 3 dope projects. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I appreciate you coming on, man.
Appreciate you having me. Oh, and I got some magazine interviews coming out soon too. So I will be dropping the links to those. So y'all make sure y'all stay tuned. Again, thanks y'all to all my supporters. Thank you for having me tonight. Everybody that's rocking with Scotty Way, I appreciate y'all and love all my fans.
Man, thanks again for coming on, bro.
All right, bro.
Take it easy.
Yes, sir.